Hello everybody! If you're new here, my name is Kate and I'm the founder of Loving Health. I'm currently creating classes to help you know what your options are for becoming healthier through diet and lifestyle change, while also learning about evidence-based practices in healthcare so you can make the best informed decision for yourself. I have a virtual cooking class series called Cooking with Kate where I teach you how to make loving health style recipes that are simple, convenient, and promote long-term health. Loving Health has a free email newsletter where we send out class and membership updates as well as articles on general health information. So today I'm going to share one of those articles with you titled Protein: Fears, Myths, and Misconceptions, Part 1. So protein may be one of the most misunderstood yet wildly popular topics in nutrition for the human diet. Though protein deficiency rarely exists without calorie deficiency, or not getting enough calories from food in general, it's still one of the biggest concerns from well-intentioned loved ones if you choose to reduce or remove animal sources of protein from your diet. But how will you get your protein? Will you get enough protein? Is an animal protein superior to plant protein? What about essential amino acids? Well, you're going to need to combine certain foods together to get all of your amino acids. Doesn't that seem like more trouble than it's worth? Shouldn't you eat at least some animal protein just to be safe? What about building muscle? Are you going to supplement with isolated soy protein? This influx of concern can be overwhelming even though you know you're doing the best thing for your health by reducing or removing animal-sourced proteins. It's funny how no one seemed too worried when McDonald's and soda and candy bars were on the menu, but now that it's legumes and fruits and vegetables and beans, everyone has something to say. This series will go through each of these fears, myths, and misconceptions one by one with well-structured, peer-reviewed evidence to reference each explanation. To start off this first part of the series, we'll go over some of the simpler misconceptions. So how will you get your protein? You are going to get your protein from the various plant foods that you eat, digest, and absorb. In case you weren't sure, plants have protein too. In fact, all protein is originally made by plants. Plants have a symbiotic relationship with nitrogen-fixing bacteria that contain an enzyme called nitrogenase. The plants can signal these types of bacteria from the soil into their roots, where the bacteria's enzymes are protected from oxygen, because the enzyme is deactivated by the presence of oxygen, and can convert a very unusable form of nitrogen in the environment to a form that can be utilized to create amino acids. These amino acids are then strung together into peptide chains in various combinations to form proteins. Animals get their protein from eating plants, and the animals who eat animals also get that same recycled protein originally sourced from plants. While we humans have a beneficial symbiotic relationship with certain microbes in our own special way, we don't have the type of relationship that allows us to break the triple bonds of gaseous nitrogen from the environment for synthesizing amino acids. I know, bummer. Will you get enough protein from plants? When it comes to how much protein we actually need, the consensus among countries averages around 0.6 grams per kilograms per day and recommends about 0.8 grams per kilograms per day, to include populations that may need a bit more than the average, like the elderly. While also providing a nice cushion of safety for those that need more than the average, this amount translates to a recommendation of about 44 to 63 grams of protein per day for males and females over the age of 18 years. To put this in perspective, I'm a petite woman at 5'3" and consume approximately 66 grams of protein on a day where I'm not as active, therefore not as hungry, and don't consume as many calories as I would on a day where I'd have more physical activity. This amount easily exceeds recommendations and surpasses my protein needs, all while consuming whole plant foods. If I were to eat more calories, my grams of protein intake would increase as well. Protein deficiency only exists with calorie deficiency alongside it, known as protein energy malnutrition, or PEM. PEM is typically seen as two conditions, and forgive me if I mispronounce these, but marasmus or kwashiorkor, which mainly occur in developing and underdeveloped countries. Kwashiorkor was originally thought to be caused by a diet sufficient in calories but insufficient in protein. However, with more research, evidence has presented that protein deficiency is not the main factor in this disease, as aflatoxin poisoning, oxidative stress, immune system dysfunctions, and imbalances in the gut microbiota may play a more causal role. Overall, protein intake is tied to calorie intake. The more calories you consume, the more protein that you will consume as well. Focusing on getting in enough calories is a better use of time and energy than worrying about an elusive protein deficiency. Whole plant foods are filled with fiber, water, and nutrients and are typically more dilute in calories compared to most foods. While this might seem like the magic solution to the goal diet culture has set for us, eat less, eat less, eat less, we need calories for energy. Please do not restrict your calories, especially when eating whole and minimally processed plant foods like legumes, starches, fruits, and vegetables. We need calories for energy, and low-calorie diets are not sustainable in the long term. Health is not a short-term goal. Please don't restrict your calories, especially when eating whole and minimally processed plant foods. So the bottom line? All plants contain protein. Animals are simply the middleman, and if you don't buy from the original source, you usually pay a greater price. If you'd like the references to this video so you can check out all of the information for yourself, which I always recommend, you can send me an email at lovinghealthforme@outlook.com. If you like this video and want to hear more on this topic in part 2, you can like it, comment below, and subscribe to our newsletter so you can get more evidence-based health information. When you know better, you do better, and now you know. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye. See you next time.